Hey Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are looking at the Ringside Collectibles exclusive Ultimate Usos Bloodline action figure set. This is Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, the in my opinion, currently the greatest tag team in the world, potentially the greatest tag team of all time. I know there could be plenty of debate had over that, but this is not the place for it. This is the place for reviewing these new figures from Ringside Collectibles. I can say with confidence that I have been down since day one-ish. I've always been a fan of the Usos, going back to the face paint days. I just always liked them as a team. Their chemistry, their raw talent was undeniable, but certainly over the past few years, they have just become an unbelievable force in the professional wrestling business. Their talent is amazing, and Jimmy and Jay have both had the opportunity to stand out time and time again, and I think they've taken it every single time. The box that we're opening up right here is not even the shipping box. This is just the box that the figures come in from Ringside. So it is a set of two. I have been very excited about these figures because there just haven't been as many Usos as you think there would have been. And to be getting Ultimate Usos, like the best figures that Mattel produces as part of their WWE line, you know, this just seems like it's a long time coming here. Okay, so let's start with Jimmy Uso. I'm going to set Jay to the side over here, and we're going to go ahead and open up Jimmy. Now, I've talked about the Ultimates packaging before, and I do appreciate that this set is in the standard Ultimate packaging. So for your mint and box collectors out there, you can just put this on the shelves with the rest of your Ultimates. But you know, we don't play that around here, so it is definitely, that's interesting. The UPC is a sticker. I bet that has something to do with them being a two-pack and the way that these two had to be produced to be together like that. All right, let's open. Oh, on the back we've got Jimmy Uso. I'm confounded by his hair. There's no way around the fact that you've probably heard about these on the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. They've been talked about on there, but until I get a look at something, I'm not going to judge it. But I will agree that Jimmy's hair is a little odd. I don't recall. And the other thing you got to remember about these figures is these looks are from a year or more ago. But I just don't remember Jimmy ever having bangs quite like that. I don't know. We'll see. Height 6'3". I did not realize. Yeah, Jay's 6'2". I didn't realize Jimmy was that tall. Jay Uso was lost without his tag team partner from birth by his side, but when Jimmy Uso returned, the twins picked up right where they left off, dominating the tag team division. Together, they hold the record for the longest tag team title reign in WWE history, because everyone else the twos, and they the ones. All right. The Ultimate packaging is designed to open up kind of like a book. And like a book, there are... What happened here? I don't know what's going on. Oh, this... Okay. I always forget about that last piece right there. And this is going in the trash anyway, so it hardly matters. Okay. That needs to tuck right back into there. And we the ones, and it's the Usos. The quotes are perhaps not as good as they once were on these boxes, I'm not going to lie. Okay. The other cool thing about these, and the thing that makes them feel special and ultimate, is no little plastic tab. Oh, I take that back. Look, they've got them on the belts, which I sort of understand because they're lighter and you got to keep those in place. But most of the accessories do not have the annoying little plastic tabs that most toy lines feature nowadays. And yes, I'm also aware of Matt Cardona's claim that Jimmy has a J portrait. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to compare the two. You know, once I get J out here, we'll put them side by side and see. You know, I've been watching the Usos on TV for however long now, but I don't know the guys. My eye may not catch the differences or lack thereof in the same way that somebody who's actually worked with them will. Really, what I'm going to judge it by is, do these look different to me? And I'll say right now, the smiling head on this Jimmy does not look like Jey Uso to me. Alright. I do appreciate that these came with both sets of tag titles. And here's something that is going to be purely subjective. And I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments on which kind of titles you prefer, the ones with the metallic finish or these. I think these look fine. I think the metallic finish is too shiny, but this kind of looks cheap. Neither one particularly looks good, but that's not even, like, beyond that. My problem with the title belts that these companies are putting out now is these peg and hole systems are just hideous. They're horrible. I really, really wish somebody could come up with a different way to fasten these belts, because this looks absolutely terrible. Same thing for weight belts that are designed this way. It looks horrible. Please figure something else out. I prefer the old system where there would be a loop over here and you would just slide the belt through the loop. That would look better than these horrible peg holes, because you can't do anything but put these around the figure's waist, or they just look like trash. So we will put those title belts aside. We will take a look at Jimmy. See, I've gotten in my own head about who's who. Okay. All right. Articulation-wise, he's got the butterfly joints. He's got the torso that, in pictures online, this torso joint, to me, almost always looks terrible. But in person, it always looks so much better. Those are some really... They've got a lot of range on those butterfly joints. That's actually really cool. The tattoos look excellent, in my opinion. They are just the right opacity and shade to look like actual tattoos and not look like somebody drew them on with a Sharpie. The one major issue that I still have with these so-called ultimates is no action figure with a cut joint at the waist is an ultimate anything. That is a hideous eyesore, and I can't stand it. Oh, he does. Okay, so these are the new drop-down hips that the Mattel team was inspired by the G.I. Joe Classified series to add those in, and they give a much greater range. While, all you have to do is really just be slightly more conscious when you're putting the figure on the shelf of, just putting that hip back up into the socket when you're doing a pose. Man, the gloss on the pants is really cool. The toe joints are unnecessary, and the ankle articulation, kind of like, ooh, that is going to be tough. So because of the design of the shoes, you don't have a lot to grab on, because usually with wrestling figures you can grab the boot and really work that joint, because this is a very stiff joint. And you have to move it around a lot to get the full range out of that. And this is just going to, you can see that's going to pop right out of the leg, which is fine. You can pop it right back in. But these old school rockers are just awful too. I really wish Mattel get rid of these rockers and get rid of these toe joints and just adopt modern ankle articulation. What are you doing? Because look, these are brand new feet. They had to make new feet for these, so why not give them new articulation? Which I guess, even development of that sort of thing probably costs money, so that's, I'm sure, the answer. Well, money is the answer. Any problem you have, somebody somewhere making money is the answer to why a thing is the way it is. Man, the gloss and the way the pants are split up looks really, really cool. The silver, you can see the detail in the knees there. Those ridged reinforcement on the knees. Bloodline going down the leg, as best it can. I'm not mad about this being interrupted by the knee joint. They did that the best way they possibly could. All the joints are moving really smoothly. Nothing is stuck. Everything feels good. Pretty happy with that. Double jointed elbows. Yeah, figure moves really nicely. And then kind of disappointed in the neck joint as well. As I said with the last Ultimate, what was it? Rollins. That doesn't feel Ultimate to me. And the chain even looks good, because that's supposed to be sort of a fat gold rope. So it's not like Austin's chain where it's supposed to be a thin gold necklace and it just looks ridiculous. This one actually looks pretty cool. I can work with that. So let's get a look at the accessories. So that's Smiling Jimmy, and I do think that looks like Jimmy Uso. The bangs are not a great choice, but what are you going to do? And then you've got sort of a gritted, determined, maybe even a little bit of a mocking expression. The red in the hair looks good. It's blended in pretty nicely. Let's take a look at the default head there. Looks good. He's got his mullet going on. Oh, and look, you've even got the paint for the undershave up there. That looks great. The way the beard is done. The sculpt on the paint app looks good. The white in the beard. You know what? That's kind of what it looks like, though. Aside from a human hand going in there with a paintbrush with like one bristle and applying white, I don't quite know how you achieve beard white. So that's I'm good with that. That's fine. That looks fine to me. All right, so we've got that portrait, and then we've got the yelling portrait. This is the one where it kind of, to me, does look more like Jay. Still got the undercut painted in. Yeah, you can tell in the video. Just that little deco to show the shaved head under the hair. Very nice touch. Got the Bloodline hat, which is the same as every other hat that Mattel has put out, but it says Bloodline instead of ECW or WCW or whatever. The lei with the red flowers. We'll set that on him in a minute here. And then you've got C-grips as a default on the figure. And then you've got the pointing hands and the closed fists. So, and if you notice, the tape, which I love it when that's sculpted, but I don't necessarily need it sculpted. I mean, it looks great. It's applied well, so that's fine. And the pointing fingers do have the tape as well, so it didn't get left off anywhere, which is nice. The shirt, tank top, We the Ones, print is very well done, and no Velcro. I love that. So actually, let's do this. Let's get that head off of there. So I'm going to go ahead and just gear him up. How stretchy is this shirt? Stretchy enough. See, that's another thing I can't stand that Mattel has made a good choice with is getting rid of the Velcro on the shirts when they can. So let's see, which look do I want Jimmy? I like the gritted teeth look for him. Ooh, I wonder if Jay's going to have his grills. So get that hat on him, and see, that looks like Jimmy to me. I kind of wish they had done a portrait where the hat was just part of it instead of a removable hat, because I feel like we've kind of gotten to that point where that's more desirable and looks better. But at the end of the day, these still have to be toys. So I kind of get that too. I don't know, maybe I don't like that gritted teeth look. I kind of wish there was a more neutral expression. And I think that's where, honestly, that would have been better for Jimmy anyway, because I feel like we see him looking more neutral more often. Okay, I think that's... if I can get that hat on right. I don't know, I'm going to have to mess with the heads and see which one I think I prefer. I wish he had a more serious neutral look, though. Okay, so that's Jimmy. Now let's get to Jay. Main event Jay Uso, who, I'm not going to lie, is definitely, he's the man. He is main event Jay Uso. He is ready to be his own man, to be at the top of the card, to be drawing money on his own. I feel like this guy has it with a capital I. He's captivating. When he's talking, whether he's talking or not, his face is the most interesting thing on the screen 100% of the time. He's just a special talent. And I'm ready to see Jay Uso really just take off into the stratosphere. I feel like he can own the whole game. So pretty much all the same accessories. I'm not even going to bother taking those championships out. I'm not going to display them with the figures anyway. So we'll just set this over here. Now that, there is no denying. See, and after having looked at Jimmy for the past few minutes, that is, look, put the hair aside, and that's Jimmy, and that's Jay. It really is the bangs on Jimmy that I think are the problem. Because this is two different dudes right here. 100%. Jay does not have his grills. At least not on that portrait. So let's compare... oh, we don't have... oh, so Jay has... that's weird. So Jay doesn't have a yelling head. See, that one almost doesn't look like Jay to me. That does. Man, I really feel like Jay should have a yelling head too. They kind of messed up the portraits here, to be honest. We needed a Yeah. Anyway. I mean, this one, I don't feel like I've ever seen Jay make this face, and honestly, the face looks too thick. Very weird. Okay, so not using that head. This one is good, and it looks like Jay, but it's literally just like quiet, nothing face that I'd rather have for Jimmy. This is the Jay Uso face, 100%. Okay, so same. Let me get this rubber band off of here again. Same articulation. We've already gone through all of that. They're sharing bodies. Honestly, Jimmy should have been a little thicker. I like the way they did his sleeve. It is actually, now obviously you can see the veins right there. That's not ideal. But I like that it's all just white plastic rather than being painted on anywhere. I think that looks a lot better. It looks really good, actually. So despite being able to see his vascularity right there, that's good. The tattoos look great. And look, if either one of them has the wrong tattoos, I don't know what to tell you. I just have no... I am not the guy that's going to sit down and go over those with a microscope. Everything feels great. He's got the opposite leg, the bloodline in the opposite pocket. Man, that portrait is tremendous. This is the exact Jay Uso face I've been waiting for years. The white in his beard is slightly more questionable, I think, but it looks good. It's fine. So we're leaving that head on, but we're going to get the tank top on him because this is how they're going on the shelf. Same deal. It's stretchy. There might be an easier way to put it on than what I'm doing here. I'm actually surprised the arms don't go a little closer together. Oh, there we go. You can kind of push those back just to get it over the arms. And then once it's further down, there you go. All right. Get the tank top on, get that gold rope on. This is the head that's staying on for sure. I'm not putting a hat on Jay, but I am going to put the finger on him. And I don't know that I'm going to, as much as I like the flower piece, I don't think I'm going to put that on either. It looks cool, but I want kind of more default kind of look. I say default, you know what I mean? Less special, like just on SmackDown, not like pay-per-view look. All right, so that is... Oh, it's hat. Where does hat go? Oh, wait a minute. Did his hat roll over there with Jay? So Jay doesn't have a hat. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Although I do feel like Jay should come with something a little extra to make up for not having a hat. All right. So anyway, there they are. The current greatest tag team in the world, the Usos. I'm thrilled to have them. There are a couple little nitpicky things that I wish were different, but the ones that aren't just how Mattel makes these, everything, it's worth it. Finally, I have these guys to put on the shelf. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things, because we the one I said that with zero soul whatsoever, and I apologize to everybody watching.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.